All right, 1 second. What is up? I know it has been a minute, but I have been busy. Hold on, let me get this. In case I got it right. Make sure we got our market right. This is just going to be a quick overview video for what you guys have, just catching up to speed. Give you a couple things I know about, a couple of things going around, updates on Bitcoin. If you're here for the YZY token, I'm not doing another breakdown video for it unless something else happens. However, I will tell you about it, if there's like some interesting stuff or whatever. So let's get into it. Take off my lucky jacket. Did I ruin your plans? Plans. I gave it all I had. Okay, first things first. Let's get some overviews. I'm gonna start off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin. If you're watching it, you're trying to buy it or whatever. Wait, let me write this down. Just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say here today is an indication for you to buy or sell anything. All this is a documentation of my own trading journey, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get into it. Bitcoin. I told you weeks and weeks ago. I felt like this whole month, right? If you're expecting a move up, I said we could get a move up, whatever, anything can happen. But what I see happening to Bitcoin, I think we're around 110 or 107 or something like that. Can't remember. But I said, probably gonna visit the 90,000 range, right? 95, 98, 97, 96, somewhere in that range. It can also stop a little bit above that, 100, whatever, 99, or where it's at right now. But I do see it going to the 94, 95,000 range. That's where I'm looking for. Again, I'm not buying Bitcoin at those levels, but if you wanted to buy Bitcoin, those are great levels to buy it at. What I'm buying at those levels would be the Bitcoin mining stock, Wolf, which brings me to my next things. Stock-wise, I believe we talked about Crcl, but it has been a minute, but I know I've been trading it. It's an IPO, it's a stablecoin, USDC, right? Their company's name is called Crcl. So they IPO'd on the stock exchange at around 30 bucks. They ran up to about 100 something, 150, came back down. Options chain came out on it, said pause on the options chain, but just wait and see how it goes. That is the first legitimate. There's crypto stocks on Wall Street, but that's the first stable one, right? And that stablecoin thing is a big deal because that brings us to the next thing, the Genius Act, passed in the Senate. Okay, so right now you got to get it cleared in the House, make sure they don't try to add any amendments or anything like that on it. Then it goes to the big Bermuda's desk. The big Bermuda is Donald Trump. Okay, he's gonna sign it. Now, in that thing, since we're talking about Crcl, that's a stablecoin bill. Okay, that is the only IPO, that's the only stock exchange that is dealing with stablecoins. Okay, so they're gonna flood that. So what I said was so it was at 30, right? 100 bucks, 150. Options change came out. That stock is now trading at $245. Okay, and I don't know if I said it on here or if I was just talking to other people in my group, but I said it's a $500 stock. That's where they're probably gonna put it to. Probably gonna put it up to 500 bucks, 200 bucks, 300 bucks where it's at. Again, I'm not telling people to buy that, right? What am I doing? I bought some more of it, yeah, but I'm not telling anybody to do anything. But I did buy some more because it's Wall Street, and whenever they can't find anything, man, they try to keep the party going the best way that they can. Okay, so stablecoin bill, it's not even fully passed yet. So imagine when they fully pass it, it's gonna be $500 stock. That's what I think. Okay, do what you want to do. Now advancing. Something else in that bill. That bill, a lot of people don't know, gives a lot of freedom to X platforms. So if you ever heard all the noise of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they're fighting. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if they hate each other. I don't care if they love each other. Okay, I'm watching these guys and I'm seeing what they do because what I do here is I'm just I like trading. Okay, and that leads to making money. So that's what we're doing, right? On to that. The stuff that it gives to X. Now imagine this. What it gives to X was like a tipping system, right? That they could actually use crypto to do that with. Now here's a couple of new things about X. All of a sudden, the same day that bill passed through the Senate, okay, came out, oh, X is going to offer, what was it? Trading, like investing. Notice they didn't say what they're going to allow you to invest in. I'm sure eventually at one point it's going to be all of stocks and all of crypto, but I believe at the beginning that it's probably going to be, actually, I don't know, I can't say that. But what I will say is I believe X is going to partner with XRP, and I believe XRP's acquisition of Hidden Road, okay, which is a trading thing, right? They're gonna somehow integrate that into X, but we gotta wait and see. You say speculations, that's fine. Again, one of my many gifts that I was given here that I've noticed recently and I've just accepted is the fact that my intuition, I'm good at it, okay? And it's not just my intuition, but just the intuition that I have, you know, the thoughts that I receive, they haven't let me down so far after I've just put full faith into them. Let's just keep it that way, okay? So, watching next. Also, another thing, we talked about buying coin before. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, okay? Just not buying it. I already have it, but I'm just saying, okay? It's tied to Elon Musk. His X platform owns the rights. His XAI company now owns it, okay? And the same day Trump is talking about banning TikTok in 90 days. Okay, just gonna float that up there, and we'll revisit that when it comes up. Next thing, since we're already on crypto, no, we'll save that for last. We'll save the YZY token for last. Stock wise, what else? What did I do here? Buying anything else interesting? No. Have I seen anything? No. Pretty much quiet on all fronts in the stock market. Yeah, pretty much boring. Boring in crypto too. It's a lull period. All right, and we're not going to talk about current events because we don't care. It doesn't fit into what we're doing here. All I will say is, if anybody is worried that whatever happens over there is going to mess with the market or your crypto, okay, don't think so. Is it going to affect it a little bit? Yeah, but in the long term, no, not at all. It's not even going to come close. Okay. Back to what we do. The military, if you look it up, whenever you go through wars or something like that, the stock market booms. Okay, maybe for not that immediate time, or if something major happens, then you know the stock there's exchange comes down a little bit, the overall stocks. But overall, the U.S. makes money when they go to war. Okay, they just do. And I'm not saying that they will or anything like that. I'm just letting you know, like, it's never a bad time to put money in the market, especially not in crypto, okay, or crypto-related things. Yeah, we got nothing on that end. Crypto-wise, you're good. I got this marker, but I don't think I have it for any reason in particular. Okay, we'll just go to YZY real quick then, and then come back up. I feel like there's more that I need to tell you. It's just not coming off the noggin. Oh well. Alright, so the YZY token, if you watched it, the video I made, $30 to $1 million, okay, it definitely doesn't cost 30 bucks to get that same amount of coins. You're probably around, I still want to say you're probably around $48, $50 to get to $1 million, maybe 55, and maybe 60, I don't know. So up from when I first started talking about this been watching this thing for about almost a year now, that's what it feels like. I know it's at least been 6 months, but yeah, okay. What I see with it and what he's doing, he's currently trying to roll out his album. Okay, so the 15th, I told you about that date. I said, hey, he's trying to drop his album this date. I'm looking for signs about his coin when an album comes out. Okay, they could come before, cool. They could come after, fine. And I also told you, hey, I could see him not dropping the album on the 15th, and I could see it something like getting pushed out maybe another month. That's where we're at. But here we are, and he also uploaded, I believe, what was it, 3 songs? Preacher Man, One I Can't Say, and Beauty and the Beast. Check them out. Nothing in there is of value for what we're trying to do, okay? But nonetheless, active, still afoot. No post from the YZY token account. Still watching it. And chart-wise, if you look at those top 3 tokens, remember I told you now I can use the marker. Okay, it was, again, the contact address. That starts with, one of them was 4NBT, okay? That one's chart is looking disgusting. Okay, the other one is, what is it, 9GYB. That chart, technically disgusting, okay? Oh my god. Okay, but because I still believe that what he's gonna do ultimately is he'll probably hit us with, it'll probably be like, oh, this is it, and he won't say it is, but you know, one of them will run, and then he'll come out and be like, yeah, that's not mine. This one is mine, whichever one that may be. Okay, those 2. Which one is the one I lock? Funny thing, I don't think I even told you about this. The contact address for that YZY token, when it starts with, right? didn't see that rev. Don't worry about it. Starts with WW3. And that's what it's always been. You can't change these, as far as I know. Fun facts. You guys are gonna hate this. I think I'm caught back up. I don't really need to give you anything. I can't tell you more about the market. You're kind of good over there. Crypto, it's a low period. We're waiting. So this is just really an update. Let you know that I'm still here and apparent and at ease. I guess you can be. This is the Crcl video, right? Told you about the Crcl stock. I think it's going to $500. It's at 200. I will wait for a pullback to jump in. But the crazy thing about that stock is this is one, like I knew it was going to be a runner because it's the only one of its kind, right? And it's a big deal. Okay, that stablecoin market is like $1 trillion. They're predicting it to be like a multi-trillion-dollar ecosystem. And I want you to put this in perspective. Overall, on Wall Street, when you invest in companies, okay, yeah, you're looking at things that innovate and do cool things, but who makes the most money? Okay, and I'm not talking about USDC because they're not there yet, but another stablecoin is called Tether. Now, Tether is diabolical. Okay, they basically kicked it out of the US because they don't have like proof of reserves, right? So they're saying, okay, this is our stablecoin, $1, and they just print like millions and millions of these coins like all the time. I don't want to say every day, but because I haven't really heard of it recently, but beforehand they would just print that out, okay? And they would have to, a couple of people tried to get them to get audited, and they never finished the audits at all, okay? And it was just that it's a sketchy feeling with them. So they didn't finish the audits, and then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, instead of getting your stuff straightened out, no, they're just going to El Salvador. We're just going to make El Salvador our HUD and everywhere else in the world. Sketchy. Nonetheless, Tether is the most profitable company per employee ever. Okay, and USDC, all these stablecoin companies, they're like record breaking at making money. Like just how much money they make as a company. That is disgusting for Wall Street and for anybody throwing money. Okay, they're gonna pump those. Okay, and I say that to bring you to this next thing. So here's what we can add. The stable coins, we'll finish that up first. Okay, so Ripple, RLUSD, it's the only stable coin, right, that has gotten a whole bunch of clearings basically to be Wall Street's thing. It is basically an official stable coin to where there's not really a lot of red tape around it. The only red tape they got around it is the lawsuit, and I'm not worried about the lawsuit, and neither should you, because I don't want to say it. Okay, just take this with a grain of salt. But if you don't think that these guys play like weird games to like stall something, for whatever reason, okay, all I'm saying is that one is very weird how that one is acting. Okay, because behind the scenes they have all this stuff set up. Okay, all these partnerships, but it's like when it happens, it almost feels like when they're good to go, like I told you, they want to be dressed right. Okay, so when they're cleared and they're done with that suit, it is go time. And I think it's going to be one of those things that's at $2, and like I said, I'm never going to say a price because in my mind it's already where it's going to be, but like I wouldn't be surprised if when that thing gets cleared out, you have a lot of people, it's like, okay, $2 is expensive, but not that expensive, and then you're just going to be like, dang, I really can't buy as much of these as I wanted to. Not trying to make people buy it, I'm just saying literally based off of looking at what they have, looking at what they're trying to do, and looking at how it's going with all, it just makes sense. Now here's the next thing. Anybody trying to, like, if you still aren't in crypto, okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, you can look around, yeah, they're making all these rules. Okay, the laws alone, you'd be like, maybe I need to own some of that. That's fine. Okay, but the stablecoin thing is really going to bring things full circle, okay, because whenever, if you've noticed, whenever the exchange or the economy in general now, as of the past 20 years, I want to guess, until like 2000s, every time they've been through a certain moment where they're about to have a like collapse, to where when they say kicking the can, basically when stuff implodes, okay, before they get to that point, somehow, some way, there's always a new financial instrument that just pops up that allows them to stall it. Your stable coins are that new thing. The reason why is because right now, okay, this is the bond market talks or whatever. Nobody wants to buy our stuff. Okay, they don't want to buy T-notes. Okay, those stable coins, that's what they're going to buy to basically when they have their proof of reserves. Okay, so yeah, they're saying this stablecoin is backed at $1, and if you got 1 million of these things backed at $1, you need to have at least $1 million worth of, capital to back up what you're saying these stablecoins are worth, just in case. Okay, the way that they're going to do that now, some people are doing it with gold, whatever. The way that these U.S. ones are, and I think there was a deal done on the table because there's a whatever. I guess they could have bought gold, but if you think about it, it would be way more cheaper to buy T-notes because nobody wants them, and they're pretty much dirt cheap anyway compared to anything else you could get for it. And it's all good and dandy until stuff ends up right back here to where you see. Okay, so remember this video because at one point when this stuff blows up, because it will, but I'm just riding the wave. When it does, that is going to be the reason. Because when those T-notes values comes down like that, if their proof of reserve is those T-notes, do you understand? That's when the depegging comes. That's when it's like, oh, snap. It's going to happen eventually at one point. But for the purposes of keeping this whole thing going, these guys, these stablecoins coming out and buying all these treasury notes for the government instead of how they would normally have other countries buy it. If you're talking about an ecosystem in the stablecoin world, right, to where they are going to be valued $7 trillion, that's a lot of money. That's a lot more money than all these other countries that are pouring money into the bond market, into the U.S. bond market, okay, basically buying our debt. So basically, what does that mean? It means we don't need anybody else. Does that sound familiar? Is it fitting the narrative of what the big T and all of them really want? Okay, that's what they want. These stable coins right now, this is crypto. That is it. Something I'm going to tell you to watch for. If you don't want to buy it now, cool. Watch for this. When everybody used to get paid paper checks, okay, everybody used to get paper checks. I can't even write on the board, but I want to. Well, when everybody used to get paper checks like pay stubs, right? And then there was the introduction of online banking. A lot of people were like, I don't really want to do online banking. I don't trust smartphones. I don't trust I don't get hacked, whatever the reasoning was. The one way that made everybody do what you had to do is they went to forcing you to go from your paper check to giving us your online banking. I forget what it's called, but when you give them your info and now you get paid directly to your bank account. So now everybody has to use this technology. And the way that they pushed it out to you was, hey, this is good for you. It's going to save you time. You'll be able to have your money faster, da 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 da. Ultimately, yeah, that's cool, and that's part of the reasoning. But what it really was as a company was they ended up saving money. Stablecoins, stored in there. This is basically crypto, is what you can say with stablecoins. What does it do? It ultimately saves them what? Money. Okay? And here's how they're going to cater it to you the same freaking way. They can pay you faster. How many people complain about, I hate waiting 2 weeks to get paid or a week to get paid. I want to get paid immediately. They can pay you like that. And I guarantee you, if you surf the web, you'll find videos of these I believe Brad Garlinghouse actually talked about that before. Okay, so when you hear that, when you hear about companies switching from paying people through online banking to using stable coins, and it could still be online because it's, but using stable coins to pay people, USDC, RLUSD, that would be crazy, but hey, we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be your little, it might be too late, but I mean, for some people still on the fence, just remember that. If one day you hear about some company starting to pay people in USDC, in my head, what I would do is I would go out and buy crypto because that is the same thing. That is your evolution, okay? That's the best way that I can explain that to people still on the fence. And it's something that I didn't really think about, but I woke up the other day, so I told you about those thoughts. They're not mine. It's just I just thought about it, and I was like, hey, wait a second. That makes sense. Did some research, and that's exactly what happened, okay? So, watch out for that in crypto, right? You got your stablecoin talk, you got your little cryptocurrency talk, hook you up with the YZY coin. I'm going to try to be more active, man, but like I said, I'm not a YouTuber, and I really don't want to be making videos for no reason, right? Because nobody wants to sit here for 7-8 minutes and hear me, okay? So, you got what you got. Appreciate you. Stay blessed. I'm out of here.